Hey guys, welcome back. It's Perry the Fox, guys. Um, I told y'all in a little mini clip already, but so y'all who are just hearing this or haven't heard it yet, I'm gonna explain and talk about a little bit into detail of how I am or what I've said. So first, I'm gonna say this. See, no one in my family knew I was gay, but yet didn't even know I'm in the furry fandom until this year. I've been in the fandom for 10 years, guys, so uh, going from there, um, when I was young, my father abused me and stuff, okay, guys? And yeah, it's emotional for me right now to think about, but I need to tell y'all. I need to tell y'all straight up. Life is hard. It's not easy. Not even for myself. I had to take mental help a lot of the times for what was going on to me in my past. But to this day, I feel better, and it's not as bad as what it used to be. I know life can be hell and stuff, but when my father raped me and stuff, I was like 2 years old. My sister was 1. You see, my family and I went through hell and back after what he did. After a couple of years, I moved in with my mother after leaving a place called Hillside. You see, they got shut down a few years ago when I left, and I was sad. See, that's where I was growing up for 5 years in total. Now, after a couple of years in that one, I left to my aunt, and she took me in for a little bit. She let me go. She put me into another Hillside because she couldn't take care of me because of my cousin. No, he was pretty abusive. And then from there, guys, I went to an adoption system because my people didn't know how to deal with it, or people didn't know what to do, or how to react. In general, what to do with me. They said they didn't know what's going on, or why people felt like I was what I was. So then, after a while, this is about when I turned about 7, I was in the first Hillside. Now, in the first Hillside, I didn't come completely gay, but I was bisexual still. I didn't know where in life I belonged. I didn't know how I would react to life. I didn't know really what to do back then. So then, from there, I came into understanding after 3 years, well, 2 years from now. I was understanding a little more, catching on to how things were going around me, and felt more attracted to men than girls because I've been cheated on. Back then, I was being cheated on about 7 or 8 times, guys. Then I went from there and I turned around and said, but I still kept dating girls all the way up until a few years later. So then I turned around, and from then I turned around and said, I know girls can be jerks, but what if I just still date them now? I was bisexual, but I didn't date guys at the time, even though I am gay. So then I turned around and said to a lot of people, no one knew I was gay, no one knew I was bisexual, nothing. Not until this year of 2021. Now, then, when I turned about 9, I dated my first guy. But my family never knew about it. It was very secretive. His family was very secretive about it. His family didn't even know, actually. Now, we were naughty kids. Me and him. Naughty. At the age of 9. I mean, we weren't the brightest. And then I found out about the furry fandom a couple weeks later, guys. Then I went from the furry fandom and I said, oh, I love this stuff. I know I love animals. This furry fandom, I think I'm gonna give it a chance. Now then when I found out about fursuits, mersuits, and everything, I was like, I love this. So then I stayed into it. And I got myself into it because I like foxes. So I'm known as Furry the Fox. This is my fursuit bully as a fennec fox. You see, guys, from then, I decided to truly open up, but not fully to anybody else. Not my family, nothing. I didn't trust none of my family. Then, a couple of years from then, I went into another facility, Hillside. Then I got adopted. Now, for my adoption, I got in and out of foster care, in and out of RTCs and stuff for about, let me see, 2-3 years. Cause I didn't get adopted until I was 15, guys. So I was in their care for a little while, actually. And after that, they turned around and they couldn't take care of me anymore because of my ADHD, guys. And I went off and got bipolar on them, and they couldn't do anything. And this place called GFAC took me away from their care. Now, as that was going on, guys, I stayed out of her care for a little while. Now, I still talk to my adopted mother, but now that we're going through all that, I ended up saying this to her that, life is hard for me, and I haven't and she's a Christian, so she tried to get me in Christianity, knowing I was never a Christian, and she's kept trying to get me to be a Christian. No, you see, I don't believe in Christianity. I'm a Buddha. I believe in reincarnation and stuff. Reincarnation is where my heart lies. As my heart lies in reincarnation, so does how I feel. Because we never know what the life is out there, is what I tell people. And as right now, is what we're going through is really bad, and I think this could help a lot of you. And yet, I'm still positive. As today, I've always been positive, even with what happened in my past. You see, guys, you all hear what I'm saying. And yet, most of you actually know me who watch my channel. My life has been through crap. And yet, look at me now, like, seriously. I'm going through a lot of crap, and yet, I'm still doing what I need to do. And I'm still pushing my luck. And yet again, as life is going on, you need to think about more than that. You need to think about how life is going to treat you, how much pain will there be, how much power you think is going to go through, what's going to go on through all of you, like mentally, physically. Yet as life goes on, people ain't gonna always be there. Like, I noticed that at a young age. Now, when I was younger, I do have a friend that I talked to a lot. Now, in a hillside, I had people who always took me in and helped me when I needed it. But now, I have a family friend who died. And from there, and that was during my adoption month, where I was leaving New York, where I'm originally from, guys. I left. I went to New Mexico, and I went from New Mexico to Texas, from Texas to Georgia. See, guys, now what's going on is that I'm going through a state of depression a lot. But you know, I still push through it a lot. Depression is what hurts me. But guess what, guys? I'm still chugging along, chugging, right? And as I'm pulling along my life, I don't let it take over me. I don't. I never will. I'm still power. I still got power over that. See, I never let my depression over me. Never. Not even if, like, the world ends. I'm not going to ever let it happen. I'm too powerful for my depression. Now, to me, yet, during this COVID, a lot of people are, like, depressed and mad. To me, I just don't care. I'm always positive. Y'all probably noticed it in my YouTube videos sometimes. I'm always positive. COVID is going totally. Me, it's not over. Look at me, like, right now. I have a job, work. I work at a restaurant, which is could be dangerous for me, but guess what? I'm vaccinated. I don't care. Now, through my life of being a teenager now, from like 15 to like now, so I went through hell. I was like, you know, I don't know whether I should let my family know what's going on. At that time, that's where I was deciding, and this was about when I was about, let's see, I want to say 18. No, not 18. It was about 15 at the time. I was deciding, like, should I tell my family I'm gay, but not bold? At that time, I was in denial on myself, everybody, who I was, who they were, what I do, what I don't do. I was in a denial state where I don't know how I should. You see, those are times where it gets hard. And I was talking to myself a lot, yet now, even though my stream is, or my channel is small and subs, guys, this actually can help out most of you at this time. I know it don't seem like it could, but it will. Someday y'all see that most of this stuff I'm talking about is actually what helped. See, I went through a bunch of therapy, anger management control, depression control, medication, and yet I don't really know how I was reacting. See, yet then I'm like, and when I turned 17, I turned around and said, you know, I can't let life control me all the time. I can't let myself grudge on depression. I can't hold grudges. I shouldn't let myself be controlled by what I ain't. I should tell the truth. Now, yet, I never told anybody I was gay or bisexual. Then a couple weeks ago, which we're now into the age of 19 now speaking, but yet, as I was sitting there, guys, and I started thinking, and I didn't know how to respond, I didn't know who to talk to, but then, you know, I talked to a friend that I just found out was gay. He was completely gay, so I turned around and said, you know what, I'll talk to him, since I was that he's gay as well. So he turned around and he told me, no, you shouldn't be hiding that. Like, it's nothing to be ashamed of. But I explained to him, my family is more Christian than what I need them to be. Like, they won't support gay. They're Christians who don't like none of this. They even told me they don't like crap like that, and I was scared. He was explaining it to me. But it's okay, it happens to the best. Now, when I told my best friend that I was So, he's not my best friend. He was a friend, but he's not my best friend. My best friend is actually okay with it. He just didn't feel comfortable with me explaining that to him. Now, when I let it all out to him, I was like, you know what? This feels better. Letting it out instead of keeping it in better than what I thought it would. I thought it would have been painful. I thought it would hurt. Telling people that I'm gay. So then, when I did that with him, I talked to someone I lived with, another person. They turned around and said, "Oh, was this the first time you talked about it?" Because no one ever knew I was gay. Everybody thought I was straight. I was into women and stuff. No. So after a while, he turned around and said, "Oh, does anybody else know?" I was like, "Just one, well, two so far." So then, a couple of months, about I think a month ago or two, I turned around and I told my adopted mom. Now, my adopted mom was on edge about it. She didn't like how I responded, so she was kind of mad. We were leaving to go do something that day, and she slammed our car door. Now, she wasn't so happy about it, but she wasn't so mad about it. She even said, normally what happens to people who have been raised by their father become partly gay or fully gay. Or it's 90% of the people, she said. And I turned around and said, oh, okay. Now, I told everybody the truth, and I stopped hiding it. Then about 2 months or a month ago, I decided to tell my biological mother and my biological sister. My biological sister didn't take it so good. She was mad and she said, I'm gonna block you. This is against God's will. It's against everything. It's against, I'm not gonna support that, and that's not right. See, that's how my sister was. Now, my mother's like, I support that. I understand what you're going through. Now, see, I'm not the only gay in my family. My cousin was. He's gay as well, and I just found out. But then I just found out like 3 weeks ago. But then I started working about 3 weeks ago. I went into work and I turned around and this girl was flirting with me. And I was saying, why are you flirting with me? She turned around and said, you look cute. I was like, oh, thank you. But I don't date girls, so I don't know how I can be cute if I'm gay. I don't understand. Then me and my coworkers joke around a lot, knowing that they know I'm gay. But they don't care for that. And it's a good thing. There's people who don't care for that. And I'm glad. But going through that stuff a lot, trust me, it can be stressful. But guess what? I still pull through with happiness and pride. And I've won the lottery 3 times, but only getting $50 each win on those 3 times. It's a good thing that you understand that life isn't what it is, but life is unique. Look, as I learned in my life, grab the bull by its horn. Or, see, life can be slow, but life can also be fast. You don't have a long to live. You have about 70 years before you start getting into your senior years of age, and you got to be careful. You're going to be too old, really. See, my adopted father, and I didn't explain that, I should have. He's been in the hospital multiple times, yet I'm sad for him. I am. But yet, I'm just going to say this. Like, life is going to be hard, and life ain't going to be the best. But then, when you push through it, you got to think about it. But also, think about your goals. If you really want those goals to happen, push to them. Don't let them goals out of your eyesight. Reach like it's nothing. Now, for me, I don't really know what my goal is. I just do stuff because I can, and I really don't know if I have a goal at the moment, guys. I've never really thought of a goal for myself yet, guys. My main goal, and I'll say this to myself, is probably make everybody happy in life. So, yeah. So I really don't mind it. So, like, I'd rather make people happy. I'd rather make people see that life ain't always bad to me. Life can be actually pretty fun. And as it goes, just let it keep continuing. Don't let your life end. Don't let it stop, and don't let people get in your way of it. Now, as I'm still going through so-called life, y'all could be going through stuff too. I know how life could get, and I know how much stuff could go, but think about how much time there is, or how many years you have until your end of your life. You see, guys, as a young adult right now, and yet the time feels like it is speeding up. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. A lot of people think the life is speeding, and it might be. We don't know. I never know. You see, guys, as long as you think about what is ahead of you, you must also look back to people you care for. Because I've never really let my life out of my sight, people. Even though I have issues, I don't let my trust issues take me over. I trust my family, I trust myself a little more. Now, back a few years ago, I didn't trust nothing on myself. I didn't even trust talking to YouTube. I never trust doing any of this. I never wanted anybody to know who I was, what I ever did back then. I just really didn't want anything to do with anybody. But you know, as I started making friends and doing so-called working on my life, I slowly realized it's not so bad. And that's when I know that I could make it farther than I thought I would. But now, as I'm hitting my 20s guys, also guys, remember, in March I will be 20. So yeah, but this is the end of the video, y'all. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Talk to you later.